Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry, where we are fighting the game at the moment. We have gone through a few little maintenance death spirals. We had to up our copper production because that was struggling. Electronics seems to have stabilized, although we appear to be a bit low on microchips now. But that should sort itself out now that the servers are no longer being built and Electronics 3, seems like it's in a better position. That's probably because of the poly issues that we had, but poly seems to have sorted itself out somewhat. That is now full again, so that should be fine. No groundwater to extract. We're not too worried about that. What else do we have going on? We had new refugees. We can get rid of that. Hooray, they brought some piddling little stuff with them. Low supply of animal feed is a lie. That's because we have so much in the way of storage for it now because we upgraded that. Over in oil processing land, we've increased the oil processing we're doing. We'll have to keep an eye to make sure this can actually keep up with demand, of course. We probably want... Oh, there is an alert on that already. I'm going to change that to 75% because we need to know sooner rather than later because they will burn through 400 oil in no time whatsoever. Fuel gas is basically empty, but that's not too much of a concern. We have a lot of naphtha again, though, because we're doing more processing. So let's unpause a couple more naphtha processing plants, although they'll mainly be producing hydrogen and diesel, so that'll probably just stay high for a little bit. But I'm not too worried about that. Maybe we'll unpause some of these. We have had to unpause half of our power plant, our backup power plant, because we were struggling to make enough power over in our nuclear power plant, which means this needs to be expanded. How we're going to do that, who knows? We'll probably have to move the whole thing, build another one over here. We've briefly talked about that before. What else is going on? Sand is going good. We are digging our way through this. We'll need to come down another level, though. We have started tentatively filling in the side. Not that we can do a lot more because the ramp's there, so we do need to make another ramp down there at some point. And that is largely where we are. We are dumping over here now because we finished dumping all of this, which probably means we can do dirt all over there to make that look a little bit prettier. So actually, let's go ahead and do that. So let's get the dirt tower. Let's bring this over here. Let's put this here. Let's do it up to there. I almost sneezed. That's why I stopped talking there briefly. Let's get rid of all that. Let's get rid of everything inside the dirt tower's sphere of influence, as we shall call it. And then we're going to say over here, we want to dump at height 4 all of this. And all of this, and this little bit up here, and a bit more there, yeah, and a bit more there, and a bit more there. That should be fine. And then all of this, and then all of this. We may as well go right up to the edge. That is going to cause a little bit of over dirt usage where the dirt drops over the edge, but it is what it is. Let's do that. Let's do that. I might get rid of that there, and instead we should probably put a nice little, let's try that again, a nice little ramp in so things can get up and down nicely. Awesome. Right, so they are going to start doing that at some point soon. Sweet. What else have we got going on? Well, over in chicken land, chickens are producing lots of stuff. But I noticed we're struggling to deal with the amount of meat we're chucking out. We are chucking out 10 carcasses every 60 seconds. Every month, I think that works out to be. I do need to figure out if that's true or not. One of these food processors can deal with 30. And we have 6 of these, which means we are producing 60, but we're only using 30. So we definitely need to make another one of these. So let's do that. We've made a couple of extra pipes and belts, but I'm not too worried about that at all. You chuck out not too much in the way of stuff, so the belt should be absolutely fine to deal with that. So we'll do that. We'll get that all moving. That one belt should just about be enough to deal with that. We have a high supply of wastewater. That is more concerning. In terms of water, water's fine. We are chucking out 218 wastewater every 60 seconds. These can deal with all of that, in theory. They're not dealing with all of that because they're not getting the filter media. They should be. Why are they not getting the filter media? They only need 8 a time. And this is producing enough filter media that it shouldn't be a problem. Huh. Why is that happening? I can't really see a reason for that. This should be producing more than enough. It obviously does split it over here, so some of this can get taken over to here. But that should be... What did you guys bring over here in tankers? Acid? Did you bring acid over in tankers? Why would you bring acid over in tankers? Because... Don't Unity that building. Don't Unity that building, but Unity build that pipe. So that second one has never been able to bring its own acid in. Okay, well, that's that sorted. Right, so what is going on over here? These look like they have backed up now. What I might do is a weird little momentary fix is I might just stick that in there, so at least 2/3 of the filter media is coming up here rather than 1/3, rather than 50%. There's no real reason we should be seeing issues with filter media, except that doesn't have enough gravel coming in. Why do you not have enough gravel coming in? You do not have enough rock coming in is the reason for that. Let's upgrade this one and try to make sure that one stays full. We have plenty of rock around. Having rock is not a problem. Some of the gravel does get taken over to these. Yeah, so we can do the dirt production. But you should be capable of producing 144. You use 24. 24 and 24, so that's 72. So that should be capable of producing significantly more than they actually need. I wonder if that's because big trucks can't deliver there. So maybe what we'll do is we will put that one down there. We will just delete this one. We'll Unity build that one. And then we'll connect that there. So then large trucks can also deliver there. If they couldn't previously, they can now. I don't want trucks delivering stuff by hand to that. I want trucks to be bringing stuff over here, which they are at some point soon. But that's possibly why that is a concern. Yeah, because like right now, these have no filter media, which means they're not processing any of the waste, which means the waste is going to start getting backed up. But we should have some rock coming down very soon. There it is. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. We have a high supply of canola, which is fine. And any new canola that comes in will now get put down into the burners. It's just whether we are now burning enough to keep up with the canola that's coming in. Over in farmland, we have pretty much cleared up to here. We still quite clearly have an issue with throughput at this point. Oh yes, that's what I was doing, wasn't it? I was doing this. Was there something else I put down a marker for? There was something else I was going to do. I can't remember what that was. No, I can't remember what that is. No available place to dump products, you say. You have rock, which probably means they have finished doing this little section over there. So they can just continue doing this little section over here. I don't really know how far we want to bring this out. So let's just say to there for now. We don't really want to encroach on the beach, but let's give them that. And we are starting to dump a lot of dirt over here as well, which is beautiful. We have a little line here. Here, we're probably where we had a ramp, but we're getting rid of some of the dirt, so that's fine. In fact, we're getting rid of a lot of the dirt. That's fine. Right, so over here, we were going to change this setup. Because right now, yeah, this is holding us up more than anything. So what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to just delete all of this. Slow the game down so we can actually focus. I don't want to build this. Let's get rid of that. So before I unity that away, we don't build another one because that wouldn't do us any good whatsoever. Right, so this one we want to now bring in back here. We then want to bring another one in at height 1 with magnet off, which is struggling to fit. That's fine. We will use lifts because we now have space for lifts there. So we will put a lift in here. We'll put a lift in here, a lift in here, a lift in here, a lift in here, and a lift in here. We will then connect these lifts together. Connect to the lift, please. Because I turned the magnet off. Connect to the lift, please. In fact, we should probably start from this end. So connect to the lift, please. And then I want you to go up to here in a better route than that. So let's turn magnet off. Why? Oh, that's because it's not on height 1, right? Why are you still trying to magnet? Don't magnet. Oh, because magnet's back on. Okay. So let's bring that over to... Has to go under something there. Okay, fine. So let's bring that there, over there, and then connect that to there. And then connect that to there, that to there, that to there, that to there, and that to there. So this is just going to double up the amount of food we are able to bring down there. As we are now capable of taking 900 food, we can now upgrade this, 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 this. So we can unity those. Beautiful. Let's speed it all up and watch it in action. So what we should be seeing now is a lot more stuff making its way down to the end here, hopefully. So we're actually using all of the mixers. Where are you trying to reach that you can't go? You are trying to reach this. Don't do that. Problem solved. Excellent. Yes, we're still not getting these belts backing up, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But we should be getting more food through there. Can I do something similar over here? Not really, because I only have 2 inputs. So there's not a lot I can do about that. It's not even really worth upgrading these for. I just need more of them really, but I don't have the space for them, so I'm not really too sure what to do about that. You're not struggling to output anything? Nope, you're not struggling to output anything, you're just struggling to deal with the amount of input you have coming in at a time. And yeah, there ain't a lot I can do about that. Okay, but we're dealing with more of this. Unfortunately, this is just now getting backed up because there is so much sugarcane in the belt. Should I just reduce the sugarcane we're making? I don't know. I probably should, but I don't really want to do that because I want this process and all of this stuff. It does look like animal feed is almost struggling to get out of here. How much do you produce a time? Potentially quite a lot. But it seems okay for now. Like, you're not completely struggling. Maybe when this sorts itself out, you will. I don't really know what to do about this. I really don't know. Except move all of this down to give us more. I say down to here. We could only go down to here. To give us more room to get this stuff out. Or to get more of these in place, I should say. I should have left room to double these up. And I don't have room on the end of the slope to do that either. I could start taking up space where the boilers are and putting some in there. I am somewhat hesitant to do that. Because if we then need to put in more boilers, then we're not going to have space to put more boilers in. Which in itself is a problem. And I don't want to run into that issue necessarily. What to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. I don't really know, but we need to do something, I think. Although, a lot of the sugarcane seems to have worked its way through. We have a Mark III pipe there for some reason. That's excessive, but fine. And with a lot of that sugarcane filtering through, we are filtering more of the products down here now. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot to be done, is there? There's no point making this belt faster because it's going all the way down fast enough. I can't upgrade these. They are as good as they are going to get. We've got stuff trying to find a destination still. What are you trying to find? You are trying to get to this bucket, which is the coal bucket. Yes, because I moved that. Yep, fair point. Let's put a coal bucket in here. Very deliberately facing the wrong way. Let's get rid of that and unity that. We'll unity that. And then we want to take this over here, connect it to that, and connect it to that, and then unity that. So let's keep that pretty full. Not so much of a problem for the boiler, because we should be running the fuel gas one whenever we need steam. More of a problem for this, where we're trying to make the filter media. That is actually a problem. But we seem to be keeping up with that a bit better now, so that should be okay. And we do have trucks bringing coal down at some point soon, so that should be all fine. And rock is better, so we're all good there. It's a pretty major job moving all this, but I don't know if there's a better option. So what we would want to do is... Oh, is give a sad little whimper because, my word, that's kind of horrible. Right, but we're not going to have any... Do we have space where... You, come here. If I remove this bridge... Yeah, if I remove this bridge, you're in trouble. Okay, so... First thing we're going to have to do is come over. I suppose if I remove that bridge, you can always just go down there and use that bridge. It's not the end of the world, right? Let me just check this again. Yeah, no, you can get down there. So it's not the end of the world if we remove that bridge. So that's fine. We would have to... I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So over here, where the lip of the land is. We've got fuel gas, fertilizer, water. Remember that. Fuel gas, fertilizer, water. So let's get rid of all of that. Fuel gas, fertilizer, water. Fuel gas, fertilizer, water. Then let's also get rid of this weird little system here. Let's get rid of the water to there. And the fuel gas to there. And let's unity all of that. And then let's say we are going to want to just copy all of this, let's say. The thing is, are we going to bring all of this down? We probably should bring all of this down. So if we copy all of this to here, and then try and remember, so that's quite helpful. That box lines up with that. We want to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think there is that 5 spaces. If I can bring up this, that's 4. Okay, so let's cut that. And let's bring that up another 1 to there. That just makes sure that big trucks and stuff can get through there, because there is 5 spaces there. So that's where we're going to want that to go. Is that far enough over here? What is, if we just copy that again, so you are 1 away from this black line, that should be fine in terms of those. So then, we are going to need to build this, this, and this to start with. Let's not copy that. Let's copy that. Let's take this. To there and build that. Get that empty in. Let's copy this and put this to here. And get that empty in. Let's copy this. In fact, you have a weird belt there for some reason. Let's keep with that side, but let's try to make you straight now. Let's build that. Okay. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Fuel gas, fertilizer, water. The fuel gas needs to connect to this. So we're just going to bring you straight through to there. You're going to connect there. The fertilizer is this pipe. So I'm going to bring you over to here. I'd like you to go this way. Can you go over that? Can you go that way instead? To there. Let's get those built. And then the water is going to go there. It's going to come over to this one. And then you are going to come to here and connect in there. And you. Wait. No, not you. I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Delete you. Can't unity it because I'll end up unitying all those belts, and I don't want those quite yet. There's a little bit underneath here which has not been built. Let's build that. Does that mean that's the same for this? Yes, that's where I copied it. Let's build that. Let's build that. That's moving. I think, yep, there's a chunk of pipe there. The rest of it should be fine. Okay. So then we're going to want to deal with this. So we should have enough space here for this. Because we'd need 3 and there are 3. So what we're going to want to do is rather terrifyingly break this about on this black line. So here. So 1 away from that there. Can I get the grid markers up? I want to see the grid markers. There we go. So I want to break you there. Terrifying. That'll just let those bleed off nicely, which is what we need to do next. Okay. All these extra belts we will worry about at another point. Right now it is not a concern. In fact, I've built this here, but that's all going to have to move, isn't it? These pipes here are also going to have to move because they're going to be in the way of these, but let's deal with that after the fact. Where does this one go? This one goes into this balancer, which is also going to have to move, so let's start prepping that now. Yep, sorry, Unity. I forgot I had the Unity things. So let's delete that one up to there. In fact, the balance is going to have to be all the way down there, isn't it? So if we actually get rid of this up to here, Unity that, what we actually want to do is bring this down here. But we can't do that because that fuel gas pipe is in the way, and we don't want to get rid of that fuel gas pipe quite yet. Okay, can we start getting rid of some of these so we can see what we're doing underneath? And if I have to get rid of a bit of that medical 3, because I think, yeah, they're all empty now. Okay, so let's just delete all of that and just sacrifice losing that little bit of belt. That's fine. So we are also going to have to lose a couple more squares off of here, I think. And then let's start merging these together. So you at height 1, I want you to come up here and connect to that. You at height 1, I want you to come up to here and connect to that. You're also a flat belt? Oh, you're also a flat belt. Also at height 1, come up here, connect to that. So far, so good. You 2, come up to here, connect to that. Let's slow everything down while I'm doing this, actually, because this is the sort of thing which is going to break everything if we're not careful. You are going to connect to that. You 1, 2, magnet off. Oh, yep, magnet on. That's what was wrong with that. Now we're at height 3. So you're going to come to here. Connect there. Then we've got another U-belt. Turn that off. Height 4. Almost there. Cool. That is that end connected. We then want to connect this end. I was hoping more of this would have drained off, but it hasn't, so we might just have to say, oh well, and sacrifice that. That's because it's going slow. Right, yes, okay. And then we want to delete that, that, and that. Unity that. We'll deal with that in a minute. We want to get rid of that, and that, and that. And that, and that, and that. And Unity all of that. Speed the game up to get rid of it all. Then we want to get rid of probably that, and that, and that. Unity all of that. Delete that, that, and that. Also Unity that, and then delete that, and that, and that. And then Unity all of that. And then delete that, and that, and that. Unity all of that. And then that, and that, and... okay. And then we need to try to remember to get everything connected in the right place, which is the next challenge. So you are going to come to here. You're going to come to here. Oh, I don't like any of this. Okay, you're going to do that, which I really don't like, but fine. You are going to come up one. You're going to come to here. You're going to connect into there. You are going to come over here. Connect into there. And then you, magnet off. I'm going to come to here. Connect into there. You, I'm going to go to there. Connect into there. You are the wrong type of belt. Magnet on. I think I still got the wrong type of belt. So you're going to connect there, go up to height 2, connect into there. Give me the right type of belt. 1, 2, 3. You're going to go there, connect into there. Ah, okay. Oh no, you need to connect to there. I was going to try and connect you to the next one. That would have been a grave mistake. So you, 1, 2, 3, go into there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Build all of that now. Build all of that. That will get stuff moving again. We can then delete this and this. Unity and Unity. Turn the layers off where we don't need them. Connect you back. Connect you back. Right. Then we need to do something with this rock belt. So I'm just going to get rid of that for the moment. We can Unity that away. This balancer needs to move down here somewhere. So let's get rid of that and that. Unity that away. Pop that one in there. Get rid of that. And in fact, get rid of all of that pipe because that needs to be raised up. And get rid of a good chunk of that down to at least there. Get rid of a bit more of that. You should be fine just to come along here and plug straight into there, I think. You are going to need to come in at height 1, 2. I can get you there and plug it in. Perfect. Let's build that. Get rid of that. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. Now we can bring this compost belt down to here. I think that's fine. Then we can copy a chunk of these. And we should be able to just plug these in there. That should be fine. Unity that? I think it is Unity in that. So they have connected to the belt. They have connected to the pipe all the way up, I think. We just need to connect these together. And that should be that. I think we are going to have to do a few upgrades. Definitely there and there and there and there. And probably down quite a big chunk of this. In fact, let's just go pretty much all the way down. And then you need to connect to there. And then let's get rid of that chunk, and that bottom chunk there. Okay. Oh, we need to build... Nope. That again. So that should be everything we need connected up, apart from this one here. Which I was hoping we could bring over the top here. If I bring this up to height 5, it will go over. So then if we bring this in here, and then just delete that section and build that. And then this one was, what were you? You were bringing something into here. Oh, hold on. Was that just because we're bringing rock into 2 places? You were bringing rock in, you were bringing rock in. Yeah, so I think we just want to connect this to here. Like that. Okay. At which point we can then build more of these. Whew. And that is not connected. That's definitely not connected. Okay, there we go. Now that's connected. Okay. So we have more of these done. We are filtering stuff all the way down. Do not Unity boost it. It is running. It should be able to output stuff on this pipe. This pipe is showing as maxed. I don't think it necessarily should be. What do you connect to over here? Yep, you're a Mark II. I want that fuel gas pipe. You go all the way up here and all the way over here. And you do a weird little thing there, and then you do a weird little thing there, and then you connect to this, where it is Mark II and Mark II. And then you connect into that, and then you connect into that Mark III. So it should be fine. Should be fine. The only problem we have, of course, is we're not getting rid of the fuel gas, which is its own problem. It'd be nice if I could say to this balancer here to only output to this if you are full, but I can't do that with a balancer. I'd have to have a secondary storage there, and we don't really have enough space for that, unfortunately. But that should help, and that will help get rid of a little bit of that fuel gas, because what we don't want is the fuel gas backing up all the way over here. Let's just take a little look at this. Is this dealing with the backup problem? Maybe. Now we do have two there which can be upgraded to make sure this is filled. I don't know what purpose that balancer actually serves. Oh, because it comes off of these filters. And that is trying to put poppy seeds in there, which is absolutely filled, so it's not going to do that. All right, this is now backing up again. We do have plenty of space to expand this. This is now struggling, however, because the animal feed is full and the animal feed is just full. Does that tell me we need more chickens? It might tell me we need more chickens. We are filling up with steaks. Sausages we are not filling up with. But I'm not overly surprised about that. But when we fill up with steaks, we will do this instead. So that's not the end of the world. And we haven't got enough that this is actually backing all the way up yet. It's just thinking about it. Yep. I see that as a problem. Let's fix that. Okie dokie. Alright, so that's now all of that moving, and I'm hoping all the rest moving as well. It's very hard to tell, to be honest. But we have created a little bit of extra space for our waste production. More chickens? I don't know. What else have we got going on? This is looking quite comfortable. We will hopefully be seeing to burn a little bit of this to make a little bit of space in here. But on the other hand, if this does fill up with fuel gas and it backs all the way up to here, we do have the ability to send fuel gas up this pipe where we will start burning it in these, which is in fact already happening. So maybe let's unpause this one just in case we have a lot. That probably means this pipe needs to be upgraded, which goes all the way back to there. Because yes, this is completely maxed out at the moment. Which is great, because if we're full of fuel gas, that means that we're full of fuel gas. That means we're full of diesel, we're full of hydrogen. That is all good stuff. It's all good stuff. I just feel like we're now producing too much down here, but yeah, again, I guess, you know, problems and all that. Right, why did we make this? Luxury goods, that's why we made that. We were going to put one of these in here. Okay. I wish you would have told me that before you built it. So I think it's very hard to tell, isn't it? What if I put you in there? Ocean access still blocks. What if I put you in there? Ocean access blocked. What if I put you in there? Ocean access blocked. There? You're fine there. Okay, that's where you're going to live. So you were going to be luxury goods, which was more... We can unpause the game. Luxury goods. No, what were they called? What was it called? Imported goods, which was more vehicle parts, which is going to be a problem at some point soon. How many vehicle parts? Good question. Do we need more than one of these? These hold... that's only a small one, isn't it? How much does a big one hold? If we go to cargo docks, unit module large, it holds 500. I suppose more of the question is, how much does that hold? It holds 750, and I believe the contract was for imported goods. 8 modules was for 700, so that in theory should be okay. We should be able to get away with just one, probably still on a small module. One small module, and then I don't know what imported goods are. I'm assuming they are unit storage. Yes, they are. So actually we want more of these. Do they all need to be small? I suppose the ones coming in can be large, can't they? So unit module large, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want one of you to go over here and connect directly to this. We want one of you to come over here and connect directly to this. You, however, are going to be Vehicle Parts Mark II. And then we want that sort of setup, but for imported goods, which we don't have. Okay. So we want a large unit storage. We'll go with a large one. We're going to spin that around. We're going to pop that somewhere over here. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to pop you in. Oh, it doesn't quite go in the middle, does it? That's annoying. We'll put it there. And then we want at least Mark II belts. So you are going to go to there. 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 Have I done this previously? I just merged these ones down here. So you can go to there, 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 you can go to there. No, you can't, but I can put you on there for whatever reason, just for fun, just to try and balance it all out a bit. Cool, alright, that's fine. Let's build all of that where we can. We're missing a few concrete blocks, but that's okay. Chicken farm, not enough water. How much water do you take? You take 18. There are 3 of you on this pipe. But that means this pipe does need to be bigger. There is not very much water in this pipe, however. Which is more of a concern. You are prioritizing input from down here, which is fine. And you are then splitting it between these 2 here. So what I might do is I might take a feed off of this one and also plug it in down here. Because that's the feed that comes off of all the water pumps we have up there. Some of which are empty, but that's fine. That just means there's more going in here. So we now have a 3 and a 2 feeding a 3 and a 2. Which probably makes a bit more sense. And this should be a 2 all the way up. Obviously this is getting split here and there for little bits and bobs. But hopefully that should result in more water coming up here for our chicken farms now. Which have stopped complaining. Nope, you haven't stopped complaining. I would like you to stop complaining. They are struggling for water still. We could do that if we downgrade that so we don't take too much away from the farms. That will hopefully just mean there is extra water coming down to the chicken farms, enough to keep them happy. Enough to keep them happy? Not really. I thought that would solve all of your problems. But it does not appear to have. We are sending water down here still. That goes down here where we're using 18. Here where we're using not a lot, so we're not making anything. But if we were, it'd be using another 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, so 33. It also goes in here where we're using another 9, so 42. And it goes in here where we're using another 8. So that 160 pipes should be enough for all of that. Looks like they are just about getting water down there. But it is a bit of a concern if we're being perfectly honest. I don't really want to upgrade this pipe because then we've got 2 Mark IIIs trying to battle for water output, and obviously the farms are going to take a lot of water. I mean, they're just about okay at the moment, but when I say just about, I mean just about. We might have to think of something else for water for the chickens at some point, but for now they're okay. How is this looking? I don't want you to export stuff. So you send compost down there. There is supposed to be a balancer on the compost, isn't there? Which sends compost somewhere. Oh, I've sent you rock. You didn't want rock. You didn't want rock. You wanted compost. Get rid of that. Yeah, you take gravel and compost. You don't deal with rock. So let's empty that belt. Empty that belt. Yep. Empty that belt. Empty that belt. Empty that belt. Empty that. Empty that. Empty that. Okay. And then we wanted to put a balancer on the compost, which we may as well put in... There isn't really a good place. We'll put it in here. Get rid of that. We want a U-shaped balancer. Hello, U-shaped balancer. There you are. So you're going to go there. We're going to Unity U. And then we want to take compost from here. We want to bring you over to here. Unity that. And we want you to prioritize... Did you come out the top? You did for some reason. Okay, that's fine. We want you to prioritize going up there, because we don't really want compost going to here. And that'll get us making more dirt. And we are actually short of dirt. Do we still have dirt in the global dump? No, we don't. We're just not digging up a lot of dirt elsewhere. That's fine. They are covering this area with dirt, however. So the dirt is going to good use. So I can't complain too much. We did have this speedy team up here digging through this. They are still doing that. That's looking fantastic. We have no products assigned to cargo modules. You are not wrong. So in here we want to assign a contract. We want more contracts. We want imported goods. We want vehicle parts for imported goods. We want to assign a contract of vehicle parts for imported goods. Thank you very much. We probably want more vehicle parts in store there. We'll come to that when we come to it. Let's just finish delivering the rest of that by hand. You will sort out what you're going to be. I'm not going to bother telling you quite yet. Oh, that's the truck. The truck. This is coming in. We are out of workers, though. And we're out of housing, in fact. So let's build... I have to be careful not to upgrade the 3s to a 2. Let's build a couple of those. We'll wait for those to get built. And we'll wait for those to get built. And we'll wait for those to get built. This is at ×3 speed. It's very hard to tell, I know. So you should now be loading up with vehicle parts. And you are going to be imported goods. I can copy you onto all of those. You are starting to load up the vehicle parts. You need 700 of them. You hold 250. You only hold up to 200. So we're going to need to really max that out. It's going to be a lot of vehicle parts. Quite how we deal with that, I don't know. Naphtha is getting low, so let's pause a couple of those. Excavator is struggling to find a destination it can reach. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, you would struggle to reach that destination. Do you know why? Because you should not be trying to dig the other side of the mountain. Could you perhaps dig the bit that you are currently facing first? Would that sound good to you? We have a high supply of canola, but we don't really care. As long as we're dealing with this. And if we come down here, it looks like we are happily dealing with this. I say happily, it's backing up a little bit, but not too much. Not enough that I'm massively concerned, but that obviously just gets worse the longer it goes on. So, yeah, I don't know. They're not struggling to get rid of anything, are they? No, I don't think so. So that should be fine. Whew. We are burning a good bit of fuel gas, which is probably putting a bit of a drain on the water, if we're being honest. Because that's potentially taking 150 water out of there to burn all 3 of those, which is most of what that pipe can handle. So I might do that. I have just connected a Mark III there. It wasn't really intentional, but I'm not too bothered, I don't think. I think it'll all balance out in the end. Quick check on chicken farms. They're looking pretty good. You can't get rid of your eggs. I mean, that is what it is. That does mean that the eggs should be going over to cakes now. And we're starting to make our first cakes. That's exciting. How many cakes do we need to keep everyone happy? Are you cakes? You're cakes. We've actually had cakes coming in. We need 13 cakes to keep everyone happy. Oh, we've got more workers. Let's go and adopt some people through perfectly legitimate means. We needed 13 cakes. We are producing 14 cakes. That's only just enough, isn't it? I might build another cake factory. How many workers do you take? Only 8. What happened to all those people? A severe flu has culled our people. It's not great. We don't have a problem with medical supplies, do we? The medical supplies are getting in down here. Yeah, it's just severe. It does say waiting for... Just gonna let that sink in for a minute. Just gonna let that sink in. We need to adopt some more people, but I don't think we have a lot of places we can adopt from. We can adopt 3 from there. Let's do that. Doesn't leave us too short then. Oh my word. That is less than ideal. So what I do want to do is I want to come over here. I want to put an alert on you to tell me if you are less than 75% full. Because now that these are full, I want to know if they are no longer full. The meat is almost there. I'm going to do the meat. I want to know if the eggs are running out, because it means we need to definitely have more chickens. I want to know if the tofu's running out, although the tofu is not backing up. We might already be in a position where we are not producing enough tofu. We want to do this, obviously, to everyone so that we know if we are actually having problems with food production or farm production. Sausages, I mean, I'm going to do sausages, but it's going to obviously immediately freak out and tell us that it doesn't have enough sausages, which, you know, to be fair, it doesn't. What did I just do to you? Don't do that. Instead, I want you to notify me if you'll get empty. I mean, the same with the cakes, but it's going to take quite a while for it to fill up, I suspect. Over here, yep, I care significantly less about the food packs. But what could I use those for? What are they called? They are just called food packs. Yeah, tofu. We are making 12, 24, 36 tofu at the moment. Our tofu requirement is 4.6. Well, that should be fine. I don't know what you're complaining about. Your sausages, which are obviously going to struggle a little bit, but that's to be expected. Yep, that's a word. Snacks are low. That belt isn't running. Which makes me wonder if it is not connected somewhere. Like somewhere in there, because there is a little bit of that missing. But everything else looks like it is moving. Snack should now be fine. Okay, a low supply of fruit. Are we seriously less than 25? We are. It's because I accidentally upgraded a bunch of these as well. Not the end of the world. It's going to take a long time to fill. I also upgraded the cake one. It's going to take a long time to fill the cake one. Okay, it is what it is. We'll have those messages there, but they will clear in the end. We still have a low supply of naphtha. Yes, we do. The reason I'm micromanaging naphtha like this is because it is important we don't run out of naphtha, because we do want to put naphtha into these to make rubber, and don't really use it for sulfur, do we? No, just for the rubber. But we do want to use it for rubber. Rubber is important to us. These are running because we have the excess diesel, but that's fine because it means stuff is running to make more naphtha and everything, so that's not the end of the world. So what could we use not imported goods, food packs. We could trade food packs for oil. Also for ammonia, which would save us having to import sour water. But I think we're doing okay for fertilizer, so I'm not too worried about that for the minute. But changing the diesel from vehicle parts to food packs could be quite good for us. I suppose we want to know that we have a guaranteed constant source of food packs, and right now the tofu ones aren't running because the tofu isn't full. We do have these ones coming in, which are the steak, or we have the egg ones coming in, because we are actually full of eggs. You are trying to have stuff imported. Don't do that. Yeah, eggs are actually full, so we could. So what is this one? It is eggs and bread. And bread is also full. Bread is also full. It wouldn't hurt not to unity that building, because that'd be a waste of unity. It wouldn't hurt to make a couple more of those. Like if we've got the excess bread and eggs, let's use up excess bread and eggs. You know, yeah. And if we think we're in a position where we're making more food packs than we know how to handle, then that's not a bad thing. I'm alright with that. Okay. Oh no, it's not you. You're complaining about your alert because you are not 75% full. It looks weird having these smaller ones. Now I feel like they should all be upgraded to massive ones. So maybe we'll do that at some point as well. over here, excess food has actually pretty much cleared. That is so good. Over here, these belts are struggling to empty a little bit because they're not quite fast enough. I do not mind upgrading a few of these. We want to do these ones to Mark IIs. That's absolutely fine. I thought that would get through a lot faster, but it might just be a bit of a backlog and it'll start clearing in a moment. I'm sure that is the case. Okie dokie. This iron mine is looking wonderfully empty. I mean, wonderful is a strong word. I'd prefer if it wasn't empty, you know, but if it's empty, we can start filling it in, because we could do with that being cleared for trains, perhaps. I know we said we are going to bring the trains in down here, but we are going to need to take trains up there as well. So maybe if we bring the trains in over here, that's not the worst thing ever. This is just looking insanely good. I'm so happy with this. That looks amazing. High supply of vegetables. I don't care about a high supply of vegetables. That is alerting the wrong way. Does that mean you're also alerting the wrong way? No, you just haven't quite filled up enough, even though you look super, super full. Okay, how are we going over here? You have got loads and loads of vehicle parts. You need to be completely full for this contract to work, pretty much. Although you do have... Oh, you don't have the 700 you need. Oh, you have already gone and got all the luxury goods, though. Okay. Okay. So what do we need to do to make imported goods? How are we doing for time? Just over an hour. I think I put a thing down here. Oh, do we need to do anything about recyclables? We have sort of planned for it. This is backing up still over here. It doesn't help that the glass is absolutely full. So I could put that in there, pop that there, pop that there, pop that there, connect that. To there. That just gives us a little bit more storage for glass. I don't know what we're going to do about it when that fills up as well. That's a problem for future Antz, as always. And if we can get rid of that, it looks like the rest of this belt should be okay. Although that's a Mark III coming down there, which is pretty full, going into a Mark II here. I think it's about time we upgrade this one. Let's make this a Mark III all the way down here, where it starts connecting to these sorters, and then it'll split into the two Mark IIs. Okay. So upgrading that one. Cool. You, come over here. You, get rid of that, because my word, that's annoying. You, get rid of the household appliances. So we just need gold over here. You've already done your second run, which is quite crazy. We have so much unity now. What else can we think about doing? We could up the recycling efficiency. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. We have research efficiency. We're not currently research. We could reduce water consumption in settlements and farms. I think that's a good one. Farm yield increased by 15%. I don't know that we need that. I don't want to add maintenance to their cargo ship fuel consumption. That's probably a good one because we've got a lot of cargo ships going around. Natural population growth, no. Full leave, no. Increase health. Well, we're already quite healthy. Household appliance consumption, household goods consumption, food consumption. No. Also, if I do that, I actually get more unity. Oh, I see. If I do this... Oh, we get 15% more unity for 20% more of those. I'm not too worried about that. We could reduce food consumption a bit more. Because the only other thing, really... Oh, I suppose we could do... How much unity do we have? We have lots of unity. We could do that. Let's reduce water consumption in settlements and farms again. I think that's a good idea. We could do the recycling efficiency. I don't know if we can currently handle the recycling efficiency. but we could do it. We could even afford to do that. I mean, this is a fantastic place to be. We could even do that, which takes us down to 1 unity, but I mean, that's going to have massive impacts. Right, do we have gold anywhere near? I think the closest place we have gold is where we're doing the recycled gold over here. Trucks can export from there should they need. Yeah, because you take the gold scrap and make it into gold. Yeah, so that should be fine. We don't get a lot of gold scrap coming down. Where do you get your gold scrap from? Oh, the filter's there. Okay. This looks like it is running a bit better now, but we are going to have problems with that glass. I might just delete this one of those. If both those containers fill up, I might just delete one of them. So this is backing up a bit over here. That's because this one should be upgraded, because that one's keeping things slow, which means we could upgrade this one as well, which would probably be fine. And that is now struggling to get through that balancer. It has 1 priority input and 2 priority out, or 2 outputs, I should say. One of those outputs is a Mark III, so that's fine. Where's the other output? The other output is this one, which is not currently actually doing anything. That's because you feed these ones, which are not currently running. I mean, that's fine. It's running pretty consistently. We will hopefully, yeah. Little bit of a few gaps appearing here and there. Not a bad thing at all. Might want to consider upgrading this belt, because this belt looks like it is now backing up all the way back to here. Definitely is. Let's upgrade that belt. That goes all the way to here, where that 2 will join with this tube into this 2. Which probably means we should upgrade that one to a 3 just to make sure we've got the throughput to handle 2 Mark II belts. Okay. You are upgrading. There you are. So this belt, I'm supposed it's going to take it out of there as fast as it can, but it's okay for the minute. Whew. Right, so over here we have got these goods here. How many goods do we need for this? That is a question. If we put luxury goods, we put luxury goods right here. And then we wanted 19 luxury goods. What are you? You're just a random bit of pipe. Oh, that reminds me, actually. If we travel all the way over the map over here. See that? See that? What's going on there? What? What's going on there? We copy this. And we come up by 1, 2. We've got a bunch of random connectors that I've got no idea where they would go. We've even got connectors next to connectors, connectors on top of connectors, connectors in a little pyramid. I've got no idea what's going on there. I don't know how they got down there. I'm going to leave them there because it's weird and I sort of like it. But I don't know. I have no idea how I ended up putting connectors 2 tiles below the flat but under a mountain. So like 6, 8 deep maybe. I have no idea. That is so bizarre. That's all fine. Gold is full over here. You are being filled with fuel gas to move this boiler. That's all fine. That's all fine. You're all waiting to drop off your gold because the gold is full, but that's all fine. So if we come over here and we say you build 16, so let's build 2 of you. You would then need 8 gold. Well, that's not a lot of gold. We can do 8 gold. So if we get just one of these, and we put one of these here, and we say you are going to be gold which we're going to spot in an instant. There it is, and we say, just keep you full. Just keep you full, I suppose. Why not? And then these we are going to put in line with this, I think. We don't want that to be a Mark 2, because I don't think it needs it, does it? No, definitely doesn't. So we're going to bring this in over here. We're going to bring the gold in up to height 1. We're going to turn off a magnet. We're going to come back 1. We're going to turn on the magnet. And we're going to realize that it's not far enough back. Well, that's okay. We can solve that little problem. So we are going to take you up to height 1. Over to here. And you are going to do something very, very weird again. I think it's because that's now in the way. Let's do the gold first. Up to height 1. Over to here. Connect to there. You connect to there. Awesome. You connect to there. Sweet. Let's build those. Why not? We've got you bringing in more iron ore. We really didn't need you to bring in more iron ore. I guess that means all of these were empty. Nope. You were just bringing in more iron ore. Okay, you are already half full of those, but this box is filled with imported goods. You are waiting for gold to be brought in. There is a truck who is working on that. Low supply of... Oh. I saw the word cake and I was like, yellow cake's low. We are in trouble. Nope, that's fine. We then want to belt in. I suppose it can just go straight across here, can't it? So it can go to there quite comfortably. And then we could just bring that up to height 5. Ah. No, because we want to go underneath that bridge. So actually... let's bring you to here. I would then very much like it if you would go under here. Why do you refuse to do that? Because that fuel gas pipe is in the way. Fair point. So if you can go to there and then go up to height 4, and then let's just make sure that your pillars are matching. And then let's take you to there, and then there, and then down to height 0, and then to there, and then up to height 1, where you will then come across this. In fact, you will go back up to height 5, and you will go over here. And then you will go down to ground level, and you will connect into there, and you will connect into there. That should be fine for those trucks to get underneath. I don't like it's done that little weird bit there. I am going to immediately change that, because that very much annoys me. For reasons I cannot explain. There. Okay. Build that. Build that. Build that. Build that. Now we have luxury goods as well. Oh my word. You people are going to be so happy. Why aren't you getting household goods, on the other hand? Household appliances. We have a demand of 37. We are making, in theory, 48. You don't have the steel. We are sending quite a lot of steel out, but it is getting split quite heavily here. If we upgrade this one, that will send more steel along here. And we should probably also upgrade this one. We are clearly struggling for steel. That is a large limiting factor in our ability to produce enough of these parts at the moment. Because you have no household appliances, you do not have really any household goods, but you are about to get luxury goods. So, you know, that's good, right? Let's just keep an eye on this steel. I'm hoping that we'll be seeing a lot more steel coming in. We use 16, we use 32 there, plus steel down there, which isn't currently being used, plus a lot of steel down here. Yeah, a full 48 steel there as well. So, but this is a Mark II coming in here now. So that should, in theory, be enough if that Mark II was full, which it is obviously not. We could upgrade this little nugget down there, which would just get stuff into this balancer faster. Yeah, that makes a big difference. I mean, the steel's backing up, so that's slowing down up there, but that's not a massive, massive problem. So we're seeing a lot more steel coming down there. We are now seeing a lot more steel coming down here. That's still going to get split into there. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem, although that's 60 getting split into 2. But they need less than 30 each, so that should be absolutely fine. Okay, that's hopefully solved that problem, which means it's probably about time for us to stop. So we've had a little bit of a panicky start to the episode, trying to get all this sorted, but we seem to be in a significantly better position now, where in fact we don't really have any goods coming down into this, which is wonderful. Animal feed was full, but is still going over here quite nicely. We are filled with eggs, which is fine. The only thing we are now low of is cake and sausage. I'm going to get rid of that canola message because it is basically pointless to us. The main thing is that the belt isn't filling it with canola there, so that's not a problem. Meat is pretty full. So we are producing some meat trimmings every now and then rather than the meat, which is good, I think. It's not good because that belt is full. That belt should not be full. That comes over to the sausages, which are full. So let's build another sausage factory. In fact, I'm going to build all of them just because if we're getting... if both of these are just doing the meat trimmings, they produce 27 each. And the sausages use 24. So in theory, slightly more than 2. And only just, but slightly. They also use 24, which means that belt is not fast enough. So let's upgrade that belt. Which probably means we should just upgrade that one for a little bit of completeness. Just to make sure it's getting through there fast enough. That belt goes over all the way to there. Into that balancer, which currently balances nothing. They probably don't need to be upgraded at the moment, this belt. But I might upgrade it just so it's done. And then when we come back to it, we don't have to worry about it so much. Okay. So that should be fine. You are backed up with eggs, but you're not backed up with chicken carcasses. If you're backed up with eggs, should we be making more cake? You only use 2 eggs though, that's the thing, and you don't have enough flour to make more cake. And that's because the flour is all going into the bread, which is great, because that's what we want it to be doing. The bread is basically full, but we need all of that to back up before you start not producing that. You do make 24 bread. Let's just make sure. Bread. Demand is 6. Okay, so that will start backing up at some point. We have a low supply of steel. I guess that is somewhat expected because we upped our steel usage so much. But I'm not thrilled about it. And I'm not thrilled about it because, well, we don't really have another steel factory ready to go. Just this one here. I'm going to get rid of these in preparation, but we're not going to build this yet. But I think that is something we're going to have to do next time, because we are using a lot more steel now. I say a lot, we're using 32 more steel, but that is more than one of those. You are waiting for molten steel. None of you are waiting for goods. You can't get rid of your exhaust, because that is backed all the way up. That is backed all the way up. That is backed up. That is backed up. All of our exhaust is backed up. We can't upgrade that pipe anymore. That's as big as that pipe gets. This is getting rid of as much as it can, but it shouldn't be, really. It should be going into these 4 here. So yeah, I was gonna, but that's a problem for next time. So I think we need to look at our exhaust. Maybe that. Stop doing that. So yeah, this is getting enough exhaust to run pretty consistently. Which probably means all 3 of these are running pretty consistently. You can't get rid of your sulfur fast enough. Oh. Oh. That's a different problem. Let's connect you to you, and I'd like to connect you to you, but that's going to be a problem. So, nope, I'm not going to do that now. I'm not going to get distracted. We need to increase our sulfur output here. But in fact, this one... Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to do this now because I think I'll forget otherwise. Connect that one into there. Delete that. Yeah, connect that one into there, because then that'll go into the balancer, and if these are full, then any excess from this system will go into this as well, because this isn't backed up. That's fine. And you make 12... You make like a quite good amount of sulfur. But yeah, I think that's probably a better option. So let's do that. Because it may be that you guys aren't running full time because you aren't able to get rid of your sulfur. Which means you've been running more because that's been backed up with sulfur. And that will hopefully solve that. But we'll have a little look at that next time. We need to get more steel being produced, although this belt has now backed up. So with that backed up, that might start filling the steel up again. Doesn't look like it, but it might. You never know. Maintenance is all fine, he says, thinking he should just check this. Your maintenance is all fine. We're making enough maintenance for everything. We have got household appliances coming in. We've got luxury goods coming in. We've got the other thing coming in. What's the other thing? Household goods. Oh, that was wonderful. Over here, we do not have a bonus for having luxury goods at the moment. I suspect if we upgraded the housing, we would. We do get a general unity boost from having luxury goods, however. So we could come over here and we could say that's already maxed out. That's maxed out. That's maxed out. That's maxed out. That's maxed out. Yeah, I guess we'll do extra farm yield just because we can. We've already reduced the water by 35%, so that's actually not increasing the amount we're going to be drawing in the farms. But yeah, we've just got a lot of unity, which is fantastic. Maybe we should start thinking about upgrading some of these to household 4. Again, if we upgrade a bunch of them. How much does it cost to upgrade? What does it cost to upgrade? Quite a lot to upgrade, including a lot of steel that we don't have a lot of. But yeah, if we can upgrade like all of these to household 4 and then pause all of these, I could put it in quite a good position. This is going to start filling up very soon because that is getting there. Power-wise, our current demand is around 110. Yeah, the last 120 days it's crept over that 120 mark a little bit, so we have to definitely deal with that next time. We've got luxury goods coming in, we've got imported goods coming in. They're still doing good things with this mine over here. This mine's nearly empty. They're just getting to that last little bit. We are making more land over here, which is wonderful. We have dumped all of our dirt, which is also wonderful over there. We have sorted out the extra food issue over here. Again, wonderful. It's been quite a productive video if it had a bit of a rocky start with trying to sort this out, but we seem to be in a better position now. If we ever get to the point where we need to build more farms and we have more food coming down here, I don't know what we're going to do. But I suppose if we need more farms because we need more food because we've got more people, so we'll just be processing more food, I imagine. I imagine that would be the case. So this is now coming in faster, so at least 2 of these should be running pretty much full time, as long as we are full of steaks, which we are. That's all amazing. Sweet. Cool. Well, next time, who knows? I wasn't really planning on doing luxury goods today, but we did them, so who knows what we're going to do next time. We don't have enough electronics. Terrifying. Why don't we have enough electronics? Don't know. We have a lot of stuff coming in. It looks like rubber has maybe been a bit of a concern. How much rubber do you guys use? 12? So that belt should be fine for rubber. Maybe we just do like this. Give it a bit of a boost for the output of the rubber onto the belts. Yeah, why not? Because that's a concern. That's a concern. Why are we using so many more electronics? We're using more for maintenance, I suppose, which is an extra 12. We don't use them for any of those. It's because we're using more down there. We are using 32 extra electronics there. That'll be it. That'll explain it. So maybe we'll have to, once again, ramp up our electronics production, which might have impact on our copper. And we cannot upgrade our copper production anymore. Oh dear. We also at some point want to start thinking about graphite and whether we are producing enough CO2, particularly from these, that we can start thinking about using graphite to use arc furnaces. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's a sensible way of finding out without just trying to upgrade to arc furnaces, but once you've upgraded to them, then you got to use them. It's going to require whole new belt systems and all sorts of things. Fuel gas is going down a bit now. That'll be because we have been absolutely rinsing our fuel gas because we had so many farms going. I'm going to pause a whole raft of those just to give our fuel gas a chance to catch up. You have an alert, do you? No, I want you to notify me if you are full or if you're empty. Either, let me know. I think I need to know. Because yes, we had lots of fuel gas coming in from over here, but now that this backlog is cleared, well, that's not going to be the case anymore. And partly that's because we increased a bunch of these storages, I suppose. So those two there had to finish backing up for a while, and we're now also making cake, which is using other bits and all sorts of things. Anyway, cool. I hope you're enjoying Captain of Industry. If you are, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I will see you next time, where we will fix electronics, where we will fix steel, although steel looks like it might have fixed itself. Maybe. And I don't know what else we'll do. Do we need to worry about recycling? No, that looks like it has also sort of sorted itself out as well, so we don't have to worry about recycling too much, I don't think. Although there's a fairly constant stream. And that is now full, so whenever that's trying to put glass in there, that's going to start backing up. Well, almost. Yeah, I don't really know. I might just, like, dump it at some point, and it will go somewhere, and we'll deal with it at another point. Cool. I will see you next time in Captain of Industry. As always, thank you so very, very much for joining me.